It's definitely more art than science. So it's hard to, I would say market and team are by far the two biggest things, but it depends on the company, it depends on the market, it depends on the team, which one is more important in any given deal. Some people seem to tend to draw a hard line of like if the market's big enough or it's growing fast enough or whatever, it doesn't matter who the team is and vice versa. I don't know. I tend not to draw hard lines on anything. It just kind of depends on the company. But generally speaking, like we invest, like I was saying before, in anything that is anywhere near the financial services world. Payments, banking, lending, insurance, real estate, consumer, B2B, you name it. We've dabbled in crypto in the past, though it's not like kind of a core focus of this fund. But it's only a matter of time, I imagine, before we make some crypto investments. And so it's a little bit of everything. And we've also invested in a handful of companies that aren't technically fintech companies, but given some of the trends that I was talking about before with like embedded fintech and kind of companies starting to leverage technology to distribute financial products, even if they're not financial services companies at their core. We've also invested in a handful of companies that are more like marketplaces or vertical SaaS companies that we think will look more like fintech companies in the future, but aren't today. So it's a little bit of everything. And we're pre-seed and seed. We're typically writing up to $1.5 million checks. We're typically looking for at least 10% ownership. And then the reason for that is, like I was saying before, we are operators and entrepreneurs first. When we partner up with a company, we like to get involved and help them build. Like we only invest in companies where we would want to be part of the founding team. And I mean, to the extent that we can, I mean, we're VCs, we're not founders, or we're not operators in that sense. Like we try to be instrumental in those early days of helping shorten learning curves and accelerate companies out of the gates, but really rolling up our sleeves and bringing all of our resources to bear to make it happen. So one of the things we've learned over the years is when you're writing 25 to 150K checks into companies and you own a tiny piece of the company in exchange for that, it doesn't justify all the time and effort that you're putting in to help those companies grow. And so we've had to kind of be adamant about investing in less companies, but owning more of those companies and being more of a financial partner, but also being able to be like a real operating partner as well.